Every criminal thinks they are smooth, but they eventually slip.
Do you think he's a narcissist?
Ooh, they need to put a picture of that thing next to that word. Because it's all about it. It is everything that they do is calculated. Believe that. Every outcome is calculated. If it is caught off guard, it must have been high. But that's the perfect word for it. I always call it that.
You refer to cooks as it.
Oh yes, it's a it. It's not. I don't see it as a human because me and you, we get up every day and we don't have this mentality of hurting other people. We do not have this mentality of it's all about me and nobody else. So, and then you have these D zombies. I do not call them D hive or DYs. I do not see it as a human. I do not. It takes pleasure. Watch. I would like people to go back and look at any of its videos and see the pleasure it takes when it is causing harm or hurt to other people. It smiles. It laughs. It is enjoying it. Why? Because it feeds off of your pain. This is not a human. It is not.
Since you said, like, because you don't refer to him by name, but it reminds me of the Stephen King movie, It, with the
Yes. That's exactly what that is. It. We'll never call that name.
Let us get up. Let us speak up. Oh, so we can be heard. Oh, so we can be heard.
3, 2, 1.
Disclaimer: all topics in this video are alleged and allegedly, and they are strictly for entertainment purposes only.
Let's do it. Donna, how are you?
Hey, I'm good.
Long way home, the intro. I love it. Let's do it. Hey, chopping it up with you like veggies in a food processor for Thanksgiving dressing. Let's do it. Hey, let's go. Let's do
Okay,
it.
we better be ready with that introduction.
Yeah, that was great. Jay's on point. Y'all interviews better be on point because Jay know what he's doing.
Take note.
J.Evans, I do watch you. When you doing your post about me, great job.
If you are not one of my apple pies, those are my subscribers. You better go ahead and subscribe. It's a billion, jillion, cajillion people here on YouTube, baby. You might not come across me again. Set your notifications to all. That way you'll get alerts when I upload a new video. Feel free to like, comment below, and share. Be sure to follow me on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Click in this video descriptions. The links are at the bottom. Or click on my channel tabs. At the About tab, click the links below. Now, let's talk about it. As of the publishing date listed on this video, Darius Williams, also professionally known as Darius Cooks, has not been charged or convicted of any crimes. All participants in this docuseries have willingly agreed to participate and share their story, as well as answer questions pertaining to Darius Cooks Williams. All allegations are alleged. On our first episode, if you missed it, click in the description. It's there. We were introduced to Cherrone that was doxed by Darius and Andrea that placed the order with Darius but never received any merchandise. For this episode, we get to meet Nesha that was sold a defective cake by Darius, and also Alishia that purchased tickets to dining with Darius, but when the event was canceled, Alishia never received a refund. But first, we'll hear from Palma, former baker for Darius.
But wasn't he supposed to be, as far as like food and safety, be licensed and inspected in order to run a bakery?
Yeah, nothing.
So
Nothing.
isn't that illegal in Georgia?
It's illegal in all 50 states.
As far as the cake, people complain, and it's out there on the BBB side. People complain that some of the cakes had mold. When they received some of the cakes that were shipped, sometimes it was open. The flavor of the cakes either were lacking flavor or dry. What happened with that? Like, why did the cakes have mold? And why, if they're being shipped, were they not closed?
Well, when the donkey was there in the beginning,
Mhm.
and I would come in at 5 o'clock and say he come in at 6. He didn't wait for a lot of those cakes to cook. He would just pack them hot. And I have pictures of the cake wrapped and it is steaming in the wrapper. Okay. So if you put anything hot in a plastic bag or a box or whatever, you are beginning to invite mold into the cake. It is moist,
Mm-hmm.
it has heat, and it has sugar. And that's the perfect condition for mold to breathe.
Why wouldn't he let the cakes cool off? Like, I bake, I'm not a professional baker, but I know when I pull my cake out the oven, I'll let it stay in the pan for like 10, 15 minutes, right? Take it out the pan, let it cool off before I ice it. Why was he in such a rush to pack the cakes hot?
That's the word, rush.
Would you consider him a real baker or cook? And were these did you know if they were his actual recipes? Can he actually bake? Or was it strictly you and other people doing the baking?
Listen,
Okay.
that dummy cannot bake. Not even a rock. Okay? Baking is a science.
Mm-hmm.
Baking is chemistry. You can cook and you can add flavor, take away flavor, do all of this stuff to get it right. Baking has to be precise. Has to be precise. You are dealing with chemicals. Baking soda is a chemical. Baking powder is a chemical.
This is Nesha that was shipped the defective cake from Darius.
Okay. So we're going to get into learning more about his cakes. Now, he had a cake company called Carolina Pound Cakes. That's where you ordered your cake from, right?
Yes, that's correct.
What made you want to try the cake, and how much was it?
So my mom and sister, they have been following him for a while. And so when the cakes got released, they had like all these different flavors. And so my mom, it was around Thanksgiving, and she's already a baker, but she was like, I want some time off. And she said, we're gonna order from Darius. And so she sent me the link and was like, these are the cakes that he has. So we went with the pineapple Hennessy cake. It was, I want to say it was an 8-inch cake, $50, and then the shipping was $15. So total it was $65
For one cake.
for one cake.
Did the order arrive on time?
We literally were supposed to get our order 2 days prior to Thanksgiving, and we got it the night of the night before Thanksgiving.
When the cake arrived, was it packed right? Like, was it damaged? What was the condition of the cake?
So when we first got the cake, we didn't even open it. We literally just waited to Thanksgiving. So when we opened it, it had the blue confetti in it, but it was open. So it was open enough to, it was like, it was like one side of it was completely open. It wasn't just like a small little tear. Like it was busted open.
Was it packed in anything or just the plastic bag?
So it had like plastic, like I guess a wrap over the cake, but then it wasn't a USPS box. Just like one of them regular cardboard boxes. It wasn't like in any type of like safety food handling box. It was just in a regular USPS box. Something you would probably throw like a book in. Yeah. It wasn't like anything spectacular. It didn't have any like, how some places they'll have like the cool wrap around it to keep it cool. No, it had nothing like that. It had confetti wrapping around it.
Why did your mom have to decorate the cake?
So, like I said, we ordered a pineapple Hennessy cake, but it was no pineapples. It didn't even taste like Hennessy flavor. It had no pineapples on it, no Hennessy flavor, and then the little bit of like, I guess like drizzle for the top that he gave us, it was like, it literally only covered the bottom of the cup. So in order for us to kind of like get that pineapple taste, we had to add some pineapples. And it was the day of, it was Thanksgiving Day. So stuff was already closed. So because my mom is a baker, she had already had some crushed pineapples. So she was like, let me just put this on here. And she tried to dress it up as best as she could.
When she saw it, since she's a baker, what did she think about the appearance of the cake, since it was nothing on it?
She definitely said, like, this is not how it's supposed to look. Even, like, the packaging, she was just like, why is it only packaged in this? This isn't even, like, the proper way to ship a food item. So she was really concerned. But because Darius was so new and the company was so new, we really just tried to give him, like, the benefit of the doubt. And we had saw, like, maybe 2 reviews on YouTube about the Carolina pound cakes. But they weren't bad reviews. They was pretty decent. So I was like, okay, let's just give it a try. And I was already kind of doing YouTube at the time, so I was like, let me just do a product review on it. But I honestly didn't think anything of it. I was just like, let me just review this and let it be that. But I didn't realize he was who he is.
Now, when you did your review, when you ate the cake, you paused and you cleared your throat. Your dog that was behind you, at that pause, when you put the cake in your mouth, he left out the room. And your video cut to a clip of the movie Friday with Craig and Smokey saying, damn. So you spent $65 for this cake. Now, at this point, you said you had to get your family's opinion on the cake because it might be different. What were you thinking when you ate the cake and your dog walked out? Did you even know your dog walked out?
Honestly, I didn't. But when I saw the video, I'm like, that's so strange because literally anything I have, he wants. So I was, expecting him to come to me. Like when when I ate the cake, but he did not. He walked away. I guess he knew what time it was. He was like, I don't want none of that. He said, no, thank yous. I mean, it was so dry and it was dry. It was really dry. Like it had no moisture in it. Pound cake is not supposed to be just, for it to be a Hennessy pineapple cake, I'm thinking it's similar to like a rum cake. That's what I'm. And usually rum cake has, a good amount of moisture in it. It was not like that at all. I couldn't even pick it up with the fork because it was so dry.
So it wasn't any Henny taste, any Crown Royal, any E&J?
Nothing. It literally just tastes like a pound, like vanilla pound cake. And I wouldn't even give it that much credit. It just tastes like a cake, like with no real tasting or flavoring. So I don't know what he did, but apparently, like the baker, she wasn't there at the time that I got the cake. So all I can assume is that Darius tried to make this cake on his own. Probably didn't know the recipes like that, and just gave us whatever. Cause it had no pineapple flavoring, no pineapple chunks in it. Like it didn't taste like nothing.
Now you said the icing gave you confetti vibes, like confectioner sugar vibes. So
Yeah.
it wasn't any Hennessy even in the icing.
No, or like I'm at least thinking like, okay, maybe we'll get like a little pineapple, flavor. Cause you know how like lemon cake is. You know how that lemon icing is. I'm thinking maybe we'll get like a pineapple type. No, it was nothing like that. It was just like a glaze, almost like I don't know. It just denied taste how it was supposed to taste. It tastes like just plain confetti sugar. Like that's the best way I can describe it. It had no actual flavor.
Now we meet Alishia. She purchased tickets for dining with Darius.
You purchased a ticket to one of his food events that was canceled, right?
I purchased 2. Mm-hmm.
You purchased 2. Now, do you mind if I ask you how much they were?
Back in 2020, 175 each, I believe it was.
Okay. So 175. Now, did you remember, like, if you might have purchased it in advance? Because the thing that he's doing now, he has tickets for events for 2023. And what he'll do is charge in advance. So if you try to dispute it because it's so far out, either your bank or your credit card company is like, this is like almost a year later. Did you purchase yours in advance?
I purchased mine, I believe, like October, September 2019 for an event that was June 2020.
Now, what made you want to go to the event? Because that's like $350, which to some people it might not be a lot, but to other people, that's a lot of money. So if you're taking your hard-earned money and going to this event, what was it about him that made you want to go?
Well, first he had his new restaurant that was in Chicago. It opened up in Chicago, and I had gone previously with my friend who actually was supposed to go to the event with, because we go out to restaurants. We're kind of like foodies. We try different things. So we went to his restaurant. We got a couple Groupons actually, and when he announced that the tour was happening and there was going to be one in Chicago, we were like, yes, let's go to that. So that's what really made us actually want to go. And it was actually during my birthday month, which was even better. So it would have been like a birthday event for me.
How was your experience at his restaurant? Like, was the food good? The good customer service?
The food was good. Customer service could have been better. I know one of the times that we went, he was actually in there. I don't know what he was doing behind the counter, but he really wasn't like communicating with anybody. But the service was okay. The food was really good.
Now, before you purchased your tickets, had you heard any like complaints from people that might have sent off a red flag to you?
Nope. I think this was like the beginning of me actually hearing about him, which made me interested. And I had just started following him on Instagram too. So I hadn't heard anything at that point.
Did you consider yourself like a fan or a part of his beehive then when you start following him?
No, I do not. I'm Rihanna Navy, if that's the case. But no, for him, no, absolutely not. Not for the people that are going hard for him right now. Not to that extent at all.
Okay, come through, Rihanna Navy. Now, I like reading you too. Now, a lot of people that are supporters of his, they will say they went to the events, it wasn't canceled, or they ordered things, and that people are saying this, they're just being haters or they're just trying to plot against him. I look at it like that hasn't happened to them. So it's easy to say, well, I got my order, I went to the event. What would you say to them if they say, Alishia, you just hating on him or you just trying to bring this black man down?
First, absolutely untrue. Just because I support everybody, I was one of his customers before, and I went back, and I actually went back to his restaurant twice, and I even purchased some of his items, and I just didn't receive them. So for people to say that, and I've had to explain this to people on Facebook, and they were like, "Well, he didn't do anything to you, like." What did he do to you? I think you're lying. And not that I have to explain anything to anybody, but I went ahead and was like, this is what happened. They were like, oh, well, that's legitimate. What do you mean? There's a lot of legitimate reasons that he's doing what he's doing to different people. It's not going to all be the same. That's just how it works. So it's not a hate. It's just be a businessman. That's it. Dining with Darius, because I purchased it September, October 2019. And that was when pandemic started, like 3, 4 months later. Nobody knew what was going to happen. And he even said like, oh, it's going to be canceled. I'll email you when it's rescheduled. If you want to receive a refund, you can get one, or you can hold it until like the next event. And I told him to hold it until the next event, which never happened. He just started scheduling new events in place of that, and didn't reply back to any emails when I was inquiring about it.
Do you remember how many times you tried to reach out for your refund?
It was at least 3 or 4 through email, and then through social media, maybe twice on Facebook, and I got blocked. And then Instagram, once recently, maybe like a month ago, I did it again. And I had 2 different accounts. I had an older account that I used a couple years ago, and I did it through there. And he blocked me on that one too. So he would delete my comments, or he would just block me, and I wouldn't have access to his profile.
Now, were you able to either reach out to your bank or your credit card company or the BBB?
So I did make a report on Better Business Bureau, and then I also reached out to my bank. And like you said before, when it's so far scheduled in advance, they're like, okay, we can look up to these amount of days. And they gave me like a temporary refund, but they said we've reached out to him multiple times. He hasn't replied. He's ignored us. And they took that money back. That temporary refund was taken back.
So you're out of $350. You didn't get your event. He's blocked you because he'll go live, right? And he'll now, because people are being so outspoken, he'll try to slide in things on his live, but you have no other way of contacting him now.
Nope. And I do even remember before I got blocked recently, I went on his live from the old account, and I put something in his live, and I screen recorded it just because he likes to, like you said, answer stuff on the fly. So I put it in on his live, and he said, email me. And that's all he said. If you have a question, email me.
Be sure to tune in to the next episode. You don't want to miss out. Wait a minute. J.Evans does interviews too? Bam!
Donna, how are you?
Hi, I'm good, thank you. What was you talking about, a legend?
You.
Dawn Robertson, formerly of In Vogue and formerly of Lucy Pearl. Diva Dawn is solo and calling her own shots.
It's Donnie.
You are genius with your history here, Jay. You're giving me life right now today.
Matthew, that appeared on MTV's Catfish on one of the most iconic episodes when Chance walked over and pulled off his hair unit. Oh, you wrong for that.
It's Matthew, that's right, from the iconic Catfish episode on MTV. Matthew, what's up?
What's going on, Jay? How's everything going?
I'm good. I'm chopping it up with you like an onion in a food processor. And we gonna get caught up with you, and you gonna help me do this today. About something really good. Your album, Long Way Home, the intro. I love it.
Cassandra Lucas, formerly of Changing Faces, the group that brought you hits like Stroke You Up and Get Out. Cassandra is solo and doing it on her own now.
Thank you.
You're a joy. Thank
Who could forget the epic episode of MTV Ghosted with the lovely Shannon and JayDay? Come through, Shannon.
Time seeing him in months. I want to know, because you were just like, you know how like it's Christmas and you don't think your parents got you a gift because they can't afford their mortgage, but they get you a gift and you looking like, you were looking like, what you thinking? That's what I want to know.
Honestly, because like I said, like we really hadn't had contact because they really.
That's right. I can interview and host. Click in those descriptions. You'll get links to my videos. Go to that playlist. It's put in order for you, baby. The folder is there. Go through the videos. Get caught up, baby. J.Evans, I can interview. I can host. I do review and recaps, baby. I give you commentary. I, bam, can blow it on up. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's go. Let's do it. Come on. Let's do it. Let's roll. Let's do it. Let's move. Let's do it. Let's go. Let's do it.